Today I'm going to teach you step by step how to make $1,000 a day using Facebook ads dropshipping in 2019. Let's go. Hey everyone, Ricky Hayes here. Without further ado, let's jump into it and how you can make $1,000 a day using Facebook ads dropshipping in 2019. Okay, so first and foremost, have a high converting Shopify store. I mean, if you don't have a good store, you're going to throw money away. I see it time and time again. As a little tip, I use Brooklyn, which works fine, and I just use apps that fill the gaps, like Vitals 40, Wheelio, SMS Pump, and a few others. Those should get you started. Very low expense, very easy to get started. Immediately, I've dropped a ton of videos on winning products, how to find them. I plan to release more, but you should have enough tools easily to find it. I mean, you look at Big Spy, you look at the Facebook ads library. Okay, just they're 100% free tools. So as I said, Big Spy, Facebook ads library, the Facebook search bar. There's just a million ways. It's important that you understand that most people, when you're starting out, it's best that you do products that solve a problem. It's really important you understand the difference between a product that solves a problem and a product that's just a necessity, like something someone wants in their life. So take this jumper, whatever it is. Anyway, it's comfortable and I like it, but I don't need it, do I? Because there's a million different jumpers. It's not something that revolutionizes my life as we know it. Take my Razer Naga mouse, and yes, I play MMOs. Thank you. My Razer Naga mouse, I bought it because it fit a need of being able to hotkey stuff to my mouse, and I use it for video editing and so on and so forth, and it solves a problem. There's a ton of different items out there that solve problems, okay? So choose those because they're the easiest to market. Make sure the product is of good quality. Now, how you determine that is when you jump on AliExpress and that, just have a look at the reviews, okay? It doesn't happen often, but you will see some products that fantastic product, but when you have a look on AliExpress, it's just got 1 or 2 or 3-star reviews. Most products are going to have 4 and 5-star overall, and those are the ones you want to market. It's just a little thing to keep in your mind because you don't want chargebacks, you don't want refunds, you don't want the customer service headache. Your ad account could get suspended. You could be banned from your merchant centers like PayPal, Stripe, Shopify payments, and that is becoming a real thing. So it's important to keep that in mind. One of the important elements that I've been working a lot more on that I've found makes a huge difference is a high converting video. And so what is a high converting video? If you want me to make a video around a basic way to make a high converting video, just comment down below. If you're interested in seeing something like that, I'll make a video on that in the future. But so for instance, this is something that I've neglected a bit too, but having your watermark over the top of it, having captions fly in and fly out, or different ways of them coming in and going out to keep people interested. Having a strong call to action, at the end, shop now, and then your store name. Okay, so what your store name is with a shop now, 50% off, or not sold in stores, or limited time only, something like that. And you want to make the video unique. And so what I do is get videos from other people, the good parts of them, because they're only usually most videos are 30 to 60 seconds. And you put them together and make it make some coherent sense, and you have captions over the top, and you make the dimensions correct, because Facebook newsfeed and Instagram newsfeed are expensive, which is actually what I'll be speaking about in a moment. I forgot to add that in, sorry. But that making a high converting video really does make a difference from the get-go. I'm going to add a couple of more points in a moment. One of the other ones is make a high converting thumbnail. I've shown this. If you want me to show it again around high converting videos and high converting thumbnails, just ask down below. But you can just use Canva. So as I said, I use Camtasia for video editing. It's a good couple $100. I can't remember how much it is because I bought mine ages ago. But Canva is free. Okay, so there should be no reason that you can't easily just jump on there to use the Facebook Facebook newsfeed template or Facebook story, Instagram story. They're all the same dimensions, and make some templates. Okay, which leads me on to my next point, which is try new placements, i.e. Instagram plus Facebook stories. So one of the things that I've been noticing that's been really doing quite well, it's never going to get you the bulk amount of orders generally, because the feeds generally is what is, or sales, but Facebook and Instagram stories are very, very effective, and especially for remarketing. Okay, especially for remarketing, they're very, very, very good. I've seen, like an 80-cent CPC on news feeds drop down to 30 to 40-cent CPCs, and this is to US traffic. Okay, and so they're very, very good. Now you need to have your video. It's best if you want to get those clicks to have it optimized for that, because by default they're going to be optimized for the news feeds, not stories. So instead of it being 1080 by 1200 or something, I keep forgetting, it's 1080 by 1920. Okay, I think that's what it is. I can have a look. I can't remember. But anyway, make sure that you have it optimized for those placement dimensions, which is really easy to find. I'll actually add it in after this just to the doc so you have it as reference. But stories are really, really, really good. And again, so all you do is you make your video, and you just change the dimensions. If you're using Camtasia, you can just go in your project settings, change the dimensions, and then spit out the new video and just name it accordingly. And Canva, make a duplicate of it again, just in the new dimensions, and there you go. You've now got the optimized placement for that, because I have been finding placements are becoming a big thing. I think that Messenger stories will become bigger as well, but especially Facebook and Instagram stories are very, very good ways of reducing your overall stats. Another point I wanted to add as well, which I should have added, is I always recommend, I've said it at different points, but in 2019, we got to be honest here, $1,000 as a starting budget. Okay, so let's be honest here, $1,000 really isn't that much. Okay, for us to be able to start an online business that could make us a 6-7 figure return in a year, $1,000. Okay, and that's $1,000 in Australian. So if you're American, that's about $700-800. Okay, but if you're like Australian, about $1,000. Okay, because you want to account for anything that goes wrong, and there will be things that go wrong. I absolutely assure you. If you're not having problems, you're not succeeding. Okay, so things that'll go wrong. Customers aren't getting tracking updates, so customer service becomes a headache. Your customer service agent might be crap. Okay, they might say they've been working when they haven't. Okay, and you might be neglecting that. Customers might, after you start shipping it after a couple of weeks, this product is crap, this crap product, so on and so forth. And so your ad account might start becoming more expensive because you're getting penalized even without you knowing it. There's your actual supplier may not ship your items, and that's a very common one as well. Another point, as I'm talking about this, that brings it up, is to moderate your comments, your Facebook comments. Okay, so this is super important. This is, I found, directly correlated, especially if you have a winning product. Your CPMs will go up, and subsequently everything else will just go up. So your CPMs, your cost per click, your CTR will go down, and your CPP will go up. Because what's going to happen is Facebook's still targeting the right people, but people do read comments. If something has like 500 comments, people will read it because they're going to be looking for feedback at that point before they even click the ad. And if they see that, I bought this item, I'm waiting, I haven't heard back from them in 3 weeks and no updates or anything, people are like, I'm not buying. Because the reality is, which leads me to point number 9, it keeps growing, is people are acutely aware of drop shipping now. Okay, so not many people really speak about this, but people are acutely aware of drop shipping now in 2019. When dropshipping started, as you've probably seen in one of my previous videos, I recommend going to watch that. In approximately about 3 years ago now, dropshipping just went through the roof in its popularity. It started with Amazon dropshipping, eBay dropshipping, and then Shopify, where people had full control, and it's gone from there. As a result, Facebook is the primary source that people use for dropshipping. As a result, people are now acutely aware of it happening. And, so that's why you need to moderate your comments. If you want me to make a short little video or something, it is in my course for those there. But on moderating your comments, super important. I don't see many people speak about, but it's really important. You can, a little template of just comments that you can copy and paste into your page. So that as soon as someone comments it, it's hidden. So they can see it, but others can't. So it's going to negate that negativity. Your ad account can still get penalized in that because that's out of your control, but we can control the comments. So, like having words like eBay, drop shipping, crap product, AliExpress, Alibaba, long shipping, e-packet, like people do, they're aware of this. And people will comment that. Get those comments hidden immediately because it will stop people from buying. A lot of people don't read them, but a lot of people do. That's legitimately one of the biggest keys that I've seen a lot. If you look at these large sponsored posts from people that are crushing it with their store, a lot of them you will actually see that they're not moderating the comments properly. Now, some of them I actually respond to depending on the type of comment and just see that we're actually responding. But if it's just blatantly like, oh my God, such a crap product, hide it. That is going to instantly, as soon as a customer gets any whiff of doubt, the sale is dead. Okay. So that points out. Okay. So number 10 is at this point, I'm going to make this number 10. Remarketing is super critical. Okay. So DPA ads as well as individual CA ads using sequential remarketing. Okay. So remarketing is super important, period. Okay. You can look at probably about a 30 to 40% reduction in, you can see a 30 to 40% reduction in your cost per purchase with remarketing if done properly and optimized. Okay. You're not going to see it's going to go from $10, $15 to $1. No, it's still going to be at least $5, but still, it's a sale you would have not otherwise gotten. So, DPA ads to get people back, because a lot of people run general stores, so GPA ads work very well with general stores because people have a look around, and custom audience ads for individual winning products. You definitely want to hone in on that message. We know the product's doing well. Hone in on the message with, different ad copy, different thumbnails, different videos in a different order. You just want to catch people off like that and get them to come back. It doesn't have to be amazing. But again, the more you put into this, the more money you're just going to make, period. Remarketing, if you're doing anything over $500 a day in revenue, especially from a single product, you didn't do remarketing. If you're not, that $500 could easily be $600, $700 with a fraction of the cost additionally in just remarketing expense. Additionally as well, at this point, you should definitely be looking at getting a private supplier. Simple as that. You can look in my group. You can look in other groups. There's, tons of them out there that are much larger than mine. What is it? Ecom Empires. I can't even remember half of them. But anyway, and so, ask in the group. Just ask, hey, is anyone a private supplier? I'd love to get in touch. Or have a look. Some of the groups actually have lists of those private suppliers. If you can't find any, it's not hard. Jump on Upwork. The main difference is that these private suppliers are there, and the main difference is it's going to save you a few dollars. Okay, so and get 3 samples from different suppliers. So what I mean is, if you can try and find 3 or 5 suppliers, most of the time, most people's products are probably going to cost $5-10. So just literally buy the product once from these 3 or 5 suppliers. Spend $20 or $30. And what you need to do, right, this is what I've always done, is you use their processing time. So what I do is I personally, and I plan to put this in my my course too, but is, I just have a simple little sheet So simple Excel sheet, nothing amazing by any means. I just have the columns processing, shipping, quality, price, and I determine so I have at least those 3 columns, right? So I have my private suppliers, and then I have the processing time. So when I found that they've shipped it, all right, okay, so from the date that that I purchased it to the date that it was processed determines the processing time. The shipping from obviously the date that it was processed to being confirmed shipped to when it arrives at my premises. Because you will find some are actually faster than others. Now that can come down to other factors, but like you can see some, like think of it like a graph where, if some take 5 days to process and then it has the same shipping time as the others, okay, that's just an extra 5 days, whereas the others might be 1 day with same shipping time. There you go, that one's better. And then you also account for product quality. Okay, and then you say, all right, well, of the 3 suppliers, these 2 had faster processing and shipping, so this third one's gone. All right, so which of the 2 now have the better product quality? And what that means is what packaging. Some use legitimately absolute crap packaging. Some items are more fragile than others. Some don't use bubble wrap to save 20-30 cents. Some do. Some, so on and so forth. And you can see, the shipping label sticker that they put on there and all of that as well. Because when you send the AliExpress supplier the message saying, I don't want your invoice in that, do they attach it? Because customers will get pissed off. Not many, but some will actually get pissed off. And so if you can avoid that, then there we go. And so usually out of 3 to 5, you're going to find 1 to 2 that generally at least find 1 that actually meets nearly all the criteria of like 1 to 2 day processing. Shipping to here in Australia is generally about 2 to 3 weeks max. Generally, I find within 2 weeks. And then you'll determine based on that, like the quality. And there you go. You found a supplier that you might want to go through. And then you can start, bulk ordering, which I didn't add in here as well. But if you're marketing to United States, bulk order, use ShipBob. Wherever you're doing it, try and find someone that can, nearly every top tier country now at least has a shipping supply where you can warehouse it and send it to them. Here in Australia, for instance, there's one that I'm looking at using that I'm actually making a new brand and have the stock here, and they just come to my house, they pick it up, and then they ship it. So I warehouse it, but they do all the ship, so all I do is fulfill it. And I want to do that because I want to build a real Aussie brand. It'd be a lot of fun. Another key point, okay, if you actually want to hit $1,000 a day, is don't make the mistake of taking everything upon themselves. I see a lot of people like, yes, I'm crushing it, blah, blah, but they don't want to outsource any of their work. The first thing that I do is outsource my customer service, period. I hate customer service. If I wanted to do customer service, I would work at Domino's, I don't know, or Macca's, whatever, but I don't like customer service. I'm a very private natured person, and I have a very bitter personality at times. So fulfillment as well, so like if you're using Oblo, DSLs, Dropify, whatever, make sure that they're doing the customer service emails as well as fulfillment, messenger, text, okay, whatever channels you're using, just outsource it. Like it's cheap. I actually pay my customer service person $10 an hour, but they're actually really good quality, which is a lot more than which most people pay $3 to $5. But this guy is just on par, and I'm like, I don't care. My goal here is not wealth; it's just time. And if I can, have someone that I'm dependable on, I look at it that people look at that with outsourcing, like, I have to pay $3-5 an hour. Oh, okay. So, you look at it in the context that most people doing drop shipping and that are from first world countries, or European countries, and so like for instance, here in Australia, our base wage, I think, is like $23 an hour. So if I'm paying someone $10 US an hour, which is about $13, I'm not even paying the equivalent of an Australian base wage. And so I was like, what do I have to complain about? Anyway, so, web SEO is another really important one that I've been doing a lot more focus on. Blog posts, SEO really does make a difference. Entire agencies are based around SEO. The problem is it takes a long time, so people can't justify it because you don't see immediate, tangible results. Okay, but it is important if you want to build a brand, especially for those who do want to build a brand. SEO is very important. Again, $3 to $5, very cheap, up to $10, but Most are on $3 to $5. Okay. So another important element, just hire a web developer. Again, they're not expensive. Optimize your site speed. They may not be able to make a huge difference, but optimize your site speed. You might be able to optimize your cart page. You might be able to optimize your footer, integrate your email service provider with your newsletter at the bottom, and all of these little things that have tiny little effects that can really help you in the long term without you even realizing. But have a web developer in your team. Really, really important. So automate your business through more apps to help with tracking, updates, reviews, personal messages. Okay, so that one's pretty self-explanatory. The more you can automate, the less you have to actually outsource, the more consistent you're going to give the customer. So one of the things when you're doing Facebook ads is, again, this is just something that I've just observed. Everyone's so focused on Facebook ads that they forget that there's a world outside of Facebook ads. Legitimately, I see it far too frequently. That people are like, I've spent $20 and I haven't made a sale, and or I'm making sales and I'm not profitable, and but they're not putting any focus on their website. It really doesn't take much effort with all the apps out there that we now have at our arsenal. It's not hard. Like, increase your average order value through upsells, so like bulk order discounts on bundles on your product page. Upsell on your cart page. You bought this, do you want to buy this too? Here's a discount. Post-purchase upsells, one-click upsell, intercart, cart hook, reconvert, sweet upsell. All of those are different forms of, if you can get an extra 5-10%, it's just money in your back pocket, because you watch, like you've seen any of my videos on Facebook, inside a Facebook ad account or any others, most people are sitting on around, they're lucky to be sitting on 2 ROAS. Okay, they're lucky to be sitting on 2 ROAS, and that's just on a 2 metric basis, which actually leads me to my next point. Know your numbers, and I cannot stress this enough. I have neglected this a lot myself too, and it's burnt me. And that's why at the end of the video I'll be explaining more of it too, but my e-com sheets is just what I called it, but is you need to know your numbers. Okay, and you actually need to know your numbers. Everyone thinks that it's just purely your selling price divided by selling price take away expenses. Okay, and expenses is your product expense plus shipping. Okay, so if you do that as a simple formula, you come out with whatever your break-even point is, which, for most people is like 1.6, 1.7. And people are like, okay, I'm profitable. All right, and that's true. If you're completely new, right, and blah, 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 and you're not doing any of this other stuff, then you're profitable. But as soon as, okay, because the thing is, making $1,000 a day isn't hard. Okay, it's actually making money from that $1,000 a day at the end of the day. All right, that's actually hard. That's the hard part, because when you take into account that you are long term, for instance, here in Australia, you have to, for instance, if you provide services after 75k gross, you have to start paying GST. But if it's out other based on your individual laws, you're going to have you may not pay GST. I don't know if you're Australian, but I'm not going to get into that. But more importantly, taxes. Okay, so taxes plus outsourcing plus transaction fee plus so there's a transaction fee of like 30%, which is like Stripe, and then they charge a percentage transaction fee, and then refunds plus returns plus disputes fees, plus apps, Shopify, so on. And then obviously you're going to have Facebook ad expense, but we don't really include that. But anyway, but my point is, so because that's already included. But you can see how, that if we were to do all of this, which is what my e-com sheet is about, and there's a link down below, and I highly recommend you get it. It helps you to understand your numbers, which I'm going to be working on, and then also make better automated rules to try and help mitigate as much as this. And that's why I speak about automation and consistency, so it saves you on all of this as much as possible. So, so your transaction fee, 30 cents, and then a percentage of your selling price. So if it's $30 and you're paying, hypothetically, let's say a 3% transaction fee, plus the 30 cents, so 10% of $40 is $4, whatever. Anyway, so we're looking at $1.50 or something, let's say, $1.50. Okay, so $1.50, you do 100 orders, and that is $150 that you don't get. You can then claim it back on your tax, but that's based on your own individual country, your own individual circumstances, how good your accountant is, whatever. But you're going to have, it's important you understand, you are going to have refunds. You are going to have returns. You are going to have disputes. You are going to have the dispute fee. Like if it's in Stripe, they charge a certain amount, which is pain in the ass. You are going to be paying for apps. So if you're just using Shopify and let's say Vital's 40, between the two of those, you're paying $60 a month minimum. $60. And then you divide that by 30, okay? And that's $2 a day. So you're paying $2 a day just to run. Now that's nothing. I'm not saying that's a problem, but it is an expense. And then if you're paying taxes, so let's say $40 and you're paying 10% tax, let's say hypothetically, you can be looking at $4 that's taken from the government. It's not taken from, this is where people don't look at it because they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. But in a financial year, whatever that might be in your respective country, when you come to pay your taxes, which you should be paying taxes, then, that money will be taken from you. Just think of it as a loan. It's not your money, okay? You have to pay it back. Your government is going to charge you taxes, okay? And e-commerce is getting really locked down because so many people are doing this as a side hustle. That's why I speak so much about this, that it's not your money. People oh my God, I made $100,000, after blah, blah, blah. And then, when the tax man comes along, okay, you actually grossed in revenue, and they go and buy something highly expensive, let's say $50,000. They make $500,000, and let's say hypothetically that they got 10%. There's the other $50,000 gone straight away. And they're like, oh shit, I'm back to being broke. I have no money. Think ahead. Okay, you need to seriously know your numbers. That's why these huge enterprises, companies that are on the share market, and whatever they're paid for, hedge funds and all that, they know their numbers. They I highly recommend people to sit down and watch I listen to them, teleconference webinars on the share market, on just business in general. Go to a seminar. I've gone to a few, and they might be a little boring, but all they speak about is numbers, because at the end of the day, money speaks, bullshit walks. Okay, and the thing is, people are going to get caught out by this, and they're not going to get caught out immediately. That's the concerning part. Is because everyone wants to build a six-figure business. I don't know where you are from around the world, but I imagine most countries around the world, once you get 6 figures in revenue in a year, okay, a financial year, you will be paying tax. Okay, you're either paying tax or you're going to prison. Get used to it. So know your numbers. All right, and I know that that's a bit of a rant. All right, and I apologize if I've offended anyone, but that's why I'm talking so much about it. So that's where my ecom sheet comes in handy. It means that instead of your ROAS, break-even ROAS actually being 1.7, it might be 2.2. And people will immediately say, whoa. So then you're going to make automated rules that are going to kill my ads based on 2.2 ROAS. That might kill them too early or whatever. There's no point in marketing a damn product if we're looking at 1.7 ROAS as our break-even point, when in actual fact in 6 months, 12 months, when we have to pay our taxes and all our other fees come into it, that actually it should have been 2.2, and we've stuck at this 1.7 thinking that's there, and then at the end of it all, we've actually made no money at all, or we've made a 2%. Okay, 2%, because that is something you actually have to consider. Okay, if you want to make $1,000 a day. Okay, so moving on. So one of the things with remarketing as well is do not limit these to just your site in terms of VC remarketing. Run DPA ads to get repeat customers. This is one of the easiest ones I've ever done, and I recommend it to everyone, especially it works best if you have a brand niche store. Is just literally choose your whole catalog is what I've done. You can segment it out as well, but choose your whole catalog, let's say. Or if you're on a general store and this one product's doing well, get some other products and then make it into a little collection and remarket to them. Like, just put $5 a day. It may not work, may or may not work. And give them like a 20% discount. Hey, thank you so much for buying from us. We greatly appreciate your support of our business. It means the world to us. While your order is being shipped to your front door, we come back now and buy one of these items for a massive 20% off, something like that. Okay, and you just thank the customers and they'll come back and buy. If they have a good experience, they will. That is this stuff is an actual business. Okay, I don't define most dropshipping stores as an actual business because all they're doing is getting new customers in and they're gone. New customers in and they're gone. And you know what that means? It means that as Facebook becomes more expensive, that it's going to be more expensive to acquire new customers time and time again. And people, the margins are going to get less. It's just a fact. And as a result, the people are just going to give up. They're not going to make money. And that's what we actually seriously need to consider. You look at any big business, like even in our community of entrepreneurs, you look at Kevin David, you look at, for instance, Russell Brunson, like his ascension value ladder. You know, he'll get you in with a book that's $5 and then he'll try and remarket to you, maybe try and get you as a ClickFunnels customer, get you to buy his funnel scripts, get you to buy this and that. So he turns like one customer from like that, and that's like just an example, but you know, might actually lose out on the front, but then over time he actually makes a lot of money because these people just come back and buy because he's just providing what he said he would, and that's whatever the product is. So if in e-commerce you provide a good product with good shipping, with good customer service, you will be fine, and that's the core crux of it. I made the mistake of neglecting customer service. I've made the mistake of poor product quality. I've made the mistake of poor shipping times, but once they all work in harmony, then trust me, people will just come back and buy it, even if it's not a huge amount of people. Okay, one of the other things, I've made a couple of videos on this, and I do plan to make more. For those in my course, yes, okay, I am adding more Google Ads stuff in the coming weeks. Grow your store through Google remarketing. Even if you're not using Google like shopping for cold traffic or search for cold traffic, you can use display search ads, which is for remarketing. You can do dynamic remarketing. You can do a brand search. I have that in one of my YouTube videos. I recommend going to watch it. And they're just going to make you an insane amount of money. Google is, and again, this works best, again, for a brand, but like an actual more niche brand store. But doesn't matter. You should do it. If you're spending $500 a day on Facebook ads and you spend $20 a day on Google, nearly guarantee you, I should say, that $20 is probably going to bring you $50 to $60 to $70 revenue with like 2 minutes work. I'm not even joking. In fact, it's probably going to bring more. I see it time and time again. Okay, and at this point, you should also be, if you're $1,000 a day, you want to grow your organic channels, Facebook and Instagram. Put some effort into your pages. Get a graphic designer. Make your cover image nice. Make your logo nice. Add some funny viral content, whatever that may be. If you're into dogs, if you're in the dog niche, add some funny dog videos. Little things like that really, really helps, okay? We have to look outside the box because I don't like to build stores. I like to build brands, okay? That's an important difference of how I look at it. One of the other things is look at Instagram influencers and offer them a product, determine a deal, whatever that may be. I have videos on Instagram influencers. I go and recommend watching that. But between all of this, okay, you're going to have the understanding, and there will be a link down below for it that you can get, that these are all just things that absolutely will help you hit $1,000 a day. All right? Like Facebook ads isn't actually that hard. It's a tool for driving traffic. Okay? It's just a tool to get someone from Facebook that doesn't know you, to land on your website, to buy from you. But in 2019, we have to be a lot more stringent with our numbers, a lot more stringent with how we acquire customers, how we acquire them again, how we remarket to them, how we satisfy them. There's a lot more chains now that bind us to the ground. Like, as I said, because dropshipping has become a big thing, Facebook have implemented tons of things. I've had it too, where ad accounts being suspended, and it might be ridiculous, but we have to accept that, and so on and so forth, okay? So I really wanted to sit down and explain this to you guys. Really will help you. Like finding products is actually just really easy. Let's be honest, like you can find a million winning products in like 5 minutes. That's not hard. This part is the part where most people get stuck and they give up. All right. And I know that I might be the bringer of the bad news, but the reality is the bad news is the stuff that you need to actually understand how to succeed. Okay. So thanks for watching. And that concludes today's video on how to make $1,000 a day using Facebook ads in 2019. Crash course blueprint. Okay, guys? Don't forget to subscribe to today's video. Hit the like button. Hit the comment down below. Crush it to go on the chance to win one of 2 15-minute coaching calls with myself, Ricky Hayes. Once we get 30 comments, that competition will go ahead. Comment anything else that you'd like down below. Like, I really want to know your feedback. Do you want like a video ads tutorial? Do you want on making thumbnails? More on Facebook ads, Google ads? What would you really like to see there? It really intrigues me. Anyone who comments is going to get a response within the first 24 hours from myself. I really enjoy helping people there as well. Don't forget to join my group, Shopify Dropshipping Lifestyle. There's a link down below for that as well. And lastly, my ecom sheet, there's a link down below. Okay, I'm very proud of it. There's on the landing page, there's a sneak peek of what it is. You get about 20 minutes of training, approximately 25 minutes maybe, of actual training on what it does, what its benefits are, how to implement it. There's also a Facebook group on for support and updates, because I really want to make it into a proper product. It's a tiny expense, just a couple of bucks. You're going to absolutely love it. It's going to be an invaluable asset, all right, for you guys. And just as an update for everyone who watches my course, whatever, I've been updating my course more. So for you guys, there's going to be some more updates on the video side for Facebook, manual bidding, so on and so forth. Really want to give you guys all the arsenal you need to succeed. At the end of the day, I look at this that it's about lifestyle, not about being the richest in the world. So that's why I put all my effort into that course. For those wondering, I really like to give back to the community. It's a very fulfilling thing. So again, for those who have watched my extremely long rant, extremely long videos, I really do hope it has helped you in a sense to really achieve your goals. I really enjoy this. It's something I look forward to every week. So thank you so much for watching today. You all have a lovely day. Take care and goodbye.